done the sports war. Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. Luka now will be paired with LeBron James in LA. Charles Barkley was on Get Up yesterday and doesn't think the duo will work.
I don't think Luka and LeBron can play together. That's my personal opinion. Because neither one of them can play without the ball. That's going to be very fascinating. So we're looking at them down the line. I think they brought LeBron in to be a mentor for Luka. Like Mike just said it, LeBron's body is incredible. He's one of the greatest players ever. But from condition, I think they're hoping that rubs off on Luka. But I don't think they're going to have great success together.
LeBron is a mentor for Luka. Here's our guys. Brian Windhorst. Windy, great to see you. Big Perk.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Hold it. What the hell is Perk wearing right now? What Perk? Mr. T, I pity the fool.
Fly
What's
jacket.
up, bro? I mean, what's that jacket? That jacket with the sheen. I'm asking.
Perk, don't pay him any mind.
I mean, it's custom. It's custom. You know what I mean? It's something new, something different. 2025-ish.
Yeah. 2025-ish.
A
little subtle shot. All right. Can we get back to that sound though? Because by Charles Barkley, there was a lot there. Perk, what was your reaction to what he had to say about Luka and LeBron playing together and kind of how he'll essentially mentor him in terms of taking care of his body?
You know what pisses me off is people that says and constantly say that LeBron James can't play off the ball. Newsflash, LeBron James actually wants to play off the ball. Matter of fact, he's been better playing off the ball. He just have to play the point guard on this team. Now you bring in Luka, another primary that's going to be the primary ball handler. We're going to see LeBron James as a different player. He's going to be more of a screener. He's going to be more of a slasher. He's shooting the three at a high clip this season. And yes, they're going to win games. They're going to get into the playoffs. They are a top 4 team in the Western Conference. I wish people would stop with this. They can't play together. They can't play out. Rondo and LeBron James made it work. What makes you think that Luka and LeBron is not going to make it work? And here's another thing. If Luka was giving people 38 and 9 and he was out of shape, imagine what he's going to do to the rest of the league once he gets under LeBron James' wing. I think, listen, with this team, it's always about championships when you're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, right? One of the most historical franchises in sports. At the end of the day, they need to add some pieces, but right now, currently constructed, they're a top 4 team in the Western Conference.
I am not going to put any ceilings on this team. I think, if anything, adding Luka should invigorate LeBron. Now, I understand what Charles is saying. I saw Paul Pierce said something similar. Classically, you look at these two and you see that they handle the ball a lot, and you would say that's not an ideal fit. But I've also watched LeBron win championships with 3 different iterations of star teammates. The way that Dwayne Wade played was different than the way that Kyrie Irving played, was different than the way that Anthony Davis played. He's had hundreds of different teammates he's had success with. If I'm going to bet on somebody to fit together, I say it would be LeBron. And I do think it'll take some time. When Luka matched up with Kyrie a couple years ago, their first few months together, they did not do well. But they ended up having a really good partnership together. So let's see. I think the big thing with the Lakers here is they got to work on this roster. They don't have a 7. Now, we just saw how a huge difference it made in Dallas when the Mavericks acquired a couple of guys who could defend the rim and also go to the lob like they did with Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford. The Lakers don't have that right now. They need to get Luka something that he can work off with that. They need to get some perimeter defense. The Dorian Finney-Smith trade looms large now because they need him. But they just lost Max Christie. They're going to need to try to replace that. So let's see what can happen with Luka and LeBron. Let's not take anything off the table. Let's not make any assumptions. I don't think calling LeBron a mentor to Luka is the exact right fit also. I don't think you mentor a 5-time first-team All-NBA player who's been a pro for 10 years. I think LeBron will set an example, again, as he's done for 20 years. I can't predict what Luka will he'll follow that or not. I know that Anthony Davis, as a worker, changed while he was playing with LeBron, but I don't think when Anthony Davis walked in the door, LeBron said, "Do it like me." he said, this is the way I do it, and if you want to follow, that's fine. That's give something to watch. So I just want to see it work. I believe that the Lakers' position has infinitely increased with this trade. It's not an insult to Anthony Davis. I believe in Luka's talent so much, but I also am willing to say there's things we don't know, and it's going to take time.
Well, a couple of things. First thing, let's get something out of the way. First of all, Kendrick Perkins, you've been pissed off every day since last week. Calm down. You understand what I'm saying? See, America, I would dare say, Big Perk, that you've gotten a little bit too sensitive and you're losing your gift. The America loves to see you smiling. They want to see Uncle Perk smiling and being nice, not being pissed off all the time, okay? So that's number one. So let's get that together. And you know that I'm right about that. You know that I'm right. By the way, America, the ingredients to get Perk to smile, just threaten to mess with his buffet. That's all. All you have to do is threaten to mess with that, and then he'll smile and he'll back down. That's number one. Rob Pelinka and the Lakers and what you're going to put around Luka and LeBron. That's the story to watch moving forward. Because the reality is, I got a text yesterday from Larry Brown, one of the greatest coaches in the history of basketball, a champion in the ABA, a champion in the NBA, okay, with the Detroit Pistons, coached Allen Iverson all of those years, a Hall of Famer. He said it's simple. Great players figure out how to play with one another. That's just the truth. And so we know how great LeBron is. We know how great Luka is. They'll figure it out. I understand what Barkley is saying in terms of the willingness to hold the basketball. That's what Luka does, and a lot of times you find people standing around spectating. We get that part. Perk, I would tell you this about LeBron. Yes, he wants to play off the ball, but he's such a savant that even when he's wanted to play off the ball in the past, he ended up having the ball in his hands because he's usually the best decision maker on the court. And so it ultimately comes back to him. Will that be the case when Luka arrives? That's why I don't summarily dismiss what Charles Barkley is saying. Of course, they know how to do it. Of course, they can do it. But if you're LeBron, the savant that you are, knowing how to take advantage of mismatches, how to create mismatches, how to exploit whatever deficiencies the opposition possesses, are you going to be comfortable and patient enough being deferential to somebody else having the ball in their hands? And if so, how long will that last? I think that makes for interesting intrigue. I'm not saying he won't do it, Perk. I'm saying I understand those who are intrigued by that possibility. In the end, we know that LeBron and Doncic, 6'7", 6'9", 200-plus pounds. Both of them can post you. They can play with their back to the basket. They can play facing the basket. They can hurt you in a myriad of ways. They're super players. We know what they can do together. So we expect the Lakers to make the playoffs. We expect those two together to make some noise and to showcase the level of greatness that's going to have us all fascinated. We can't wait to see them on the court together. But in the end, the bottom line is, what are you going to put around them? Because you need rebounders. You need defense, particularly on the front court after losing Anthony Davis. And the one thing that we can bet against LeBron and Luka Doncic in this regard, we can bet against them running back on defense a whole bunch of times and helping out. That's not their strength. You understand? And if you got thoroughbreds that's coming at them and pushing the ball up and down the court and making them run back on defense, those other Lakers are going to need to step up and make sure they do that job. That's it.
Listen, S.A., the thing about LeBron James is the word trust when it comes down to him deferring to someone else, right?
Absolutely.
You have to earn his trust. Well, this is not a draft pick. This is not a guy that is. Luka is proven and has shown the league. How many first-team All-NBAs? Is it 5? 5 first-team All-NBAs, led a team to the NBA Finals, led a team to the Dallas to the Western Conference Finals as a young buck. He's still young, but this is when he had a Similac on his damn breath. Like you would say, at the end of the day, Luka is coming into and LeBron James, I know this for a fact, is going to take a backseat to Luka, and this is Luka's team. Watch what I tell you when we start. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong about that, what he's going to do. What we're questioning is how much is going to last. Like, for example, You're a basketball expert. You know your basketball. Like you say, you talk slow, but damn it, you're smart as hell. You know what the hell you talking about. Ain't nobody gonna refute that about Big Perk, okay? That's the truth. But the reality is that even though, because of that expertise, there's a level of patience that gets challenged if you see things awry. It's very difficult for a savant to be patient. That's why they say some of the greatest who ever lived would be terrible coaches, because it's hard for them to teach and to exercise the level of patience necessary for somebody to elevate themselves, because it's very, very difficult for them to watch, because they know instinctually what the right thing to do is. I'm not saying that you have to worry about that so much with Luka compared to other people, but because of the brilliance of LeBron James and because of the brilliance that Luka Doncic feels he possesses as well, it could end up being challenging. I don't think it will, but it could be, and that adds to the intrigue.
The Lakers are under a measure of pressure here to improve this roster too, Stephen A. Luka Doncic is only signed for one more year. When he was in Dallas, no one ever talked about his contract because he was going to get offered $350 million. We all thought, and he's going to sign it. The Lakers don't have that advantage. They don't have the supermax. There's no advantage for Luka to signing with the Lakers or doing something else. So they have the rest of this season and whatever they present to him in the offseason to get him to sign. So people are so focused on LeBron and Luka and how they fit together, and I get it. That's what we want as fans, to pay attention to that. To me, the more important business, as you say, Stephen A., is what they do to create the team around him. And by the way, LeBron is very good at midseason changes. We've seen multiple times in his career where there's been wholesale changes to his team, and he's been able to adjust. I'm not worried about him adjusting.
All right.
One of the things that we also have to pay attention to is we have to pay attention to the Lakers' history and the pressure that it's going to be on them to make sure things are attractive for Luka. Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe Bryant in terms of the draft rights from Charlotte, Pau Gasol, Anthony Davis, and now Luka Doncic. These are all players that have been acquired by the Los Angeles Lakers. You got to make sure you do enough to make Luka want to stay. The pressure is on the Lakers right now as well, not just Luka.
All right, their next three games: Clippers, Warriors, Pacers. Gentlemen, thank you kindly. Let's take